Hello, everyone. I'm Frank Sinclair.
Lisa Sinnott.
We are the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa here in Colorado Springs. We specialize in keynote speaking, emceeing, and facilitating sessions on diversity and leadership development for a global audience. We're passionate about helping professionals maximize.
Lisa Sinnott.
Isn't that true?
That's why you have to
As
step
my
off
phone
of your post.
is on. Oh my! Here we are in a new studio, Lisa. That's never happened before,
No.
right? Okay. As I was saying, we're passionate about helping professionals maximize their potential in fostering resilience, adaptive organizational cultures in small to mid-sized businesses worldwide. Welcome to the Be Encouraged Show. We provide a platform for entrepreneurs and community-focused individuals to expand their reach and to create positive impact in the Colorado Springs community and beyond. And we're joining you live from Colorado Springs today with some amazing guests. If you want to join us internationally, go to our website and select International via Instagram to join us live from anywhere in the world.
And be sure to introduce us to amazing business owners around the world that we can interview.
Indeed.
Yes. All right. So today's episode is brought to you by Co-Harbor and Crescio. So Co-Harbor is the go-to co-working space for leaders and connectors in Colorado Springs with a beautiful collaborative environment and a mission, yes, and a mission to support solopreneurs or small business teams. Co-Harbor is the perfect place to grow yourself and your business. So come check out their inspiring space. As you can see, this is a formal, beautiful podcast room that you can also rent with them. And check them out over off Rock Rimmon and Tech Center Drive, or visit them online at coharbor.com.
Joshua Geary and his company, Crescio, offer pay-what-you-can consultations to underprivileged entrepreneurs in Colorado Springs, and they teach people how to leverage ChatGPT for their business. Visit this incredible business at Crescio.com so that you can learn more. We want to, I don't know about you guys. You guys are probably captive in a business that you're working for, right? But so you don't need more leads for your business. Well, we do.
Yeah.
Right? And most people need more leads, particularly they're in a small business space. Visit us at beencouraged.net to become a sponsor and get your business name out to our growing audience. Our platinum sponsor has seen an aggressive 900% growth in their business in just 7 months. Like and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn to join our journey to extend hope and encouragement and help people realize their potential through networking, collaboration, and community involvement. So, Lisa, who we got?
It's time to introduce our amazing guest. First, our panel host, we like to title them, is Miss Rebecca Keltie. She is a previous business owner, retired military, and citizen advocate for small businesses here in the Colorado Springs area.
Welcome, Rebecca.
Welcome,
Well,
Rebecca.
thank you guys. Thank you very much.
And then we've got Mr. Ronald Rainey.
Roland.
Oh, sorry.
They wrote Ronald here.
Ronald. Sorry, Roland. He's the owner of Mayweather Boxing and Fitness Center. He's a proven leader with 26 years experience leading teams of 75 to 300 people in the Air Force and Space Force.
So, 26 years. What did you do? Start when you were 8?
I did right out of high school.
Or 18, right? Yeah.
Actually 17.
17, did you?
17.
Yeah, I joined the
Wow.
Air Force at 17.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. I didn't do 26 years, but 8 years and that was a wrap. But it was a good wrap, right? So, yeah, we're so glad to have them, Lisa.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks
We're
for having
glad
us.
to be here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Rebecca, tell us, where are you from? Tell us a little bit personally, unpack the beautiful Rebecca for us.
Yes.
How long do we have?
Yeah.
Guys, she's single.
I know.
You gotta double
I knew it. I've already done my background work, girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, my wingman. As you said, my name is Rebecca Keltie. I'm originally from Michigan, moved to Colorado about 8 years ago on the promise of a grandbaby, which I'm still waiting for.
Oh my goodness.
It's okay though, I'm getting over it. But currently, I was a previous business owner. I'm a DoD contractor engineer. Also, I'm a community advocate and a leader in our community. I'm a strong proponent of small businesses. I'm a strong proponent of entrepreneurs. I think that Colorado has a lot to offer. And we've got a lot of untapped potential, and I'm here to drive that forward. I'm on the Colorado State University Extension Board, and that we deal with agriculture, 4-H, that kind of stuff, which we're trying to bring the kids in and bring them to a point where they can see their own leadership styles and things that they're capable of, because I believe that we grow them from that age up.
We saw them at the fair when we went there too.
Yeah, we went to county fair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
and that's
We saw
we
the
put that
hard
on.
work.
So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity for them to do that, and then for them to find their own niche to grow themselves, because without businesses we don't have employees, we don't have people who can take care of their families. We have it's businesses are the soul and the lifeblood of America.
Yeah.
And that's why we are the greatest country, right? So, and I firmly believe that. So, businesses, especially like Roland's business, just coming up and bringing this and what he offers, I'm all for it. It's incredible. I'll let him tell you about that, because it's incredible. So, so I'm here as a community advocate for small businesses, and let's get her done. Let's make it great.
Indeed. Grant Cardone said that we have a national economic problem, and small business is the national economic solution.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're
and I
right.
totally agree with that 100%, that the solution to the problem is small business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, ask yourself, what doesn't involve a small business or a business period, from the sale of your glasses to the manufacturing of your clothing to the car that you drive to, the food on your table to, everything revolves around a business.
Absolutely.
One way or another.
And pain points is what creates that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Blood, sweat, and
Absolutely.
tears. Blood, sweat, and tears is what a business owner goes through.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in that order.
Yeah,
but
and every
definitely.
day's different.
it's nice.
It's a roller
If you
coaster.
don't believe it, just ask us.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, who is this gentleman?
All right, Roland, your turn.
All
Tell
right,
us a little bit about you
so-
personally.
Well, trying to follow Rebecca is always a
Yeah.
hard thing. It really is. But I'm Roland Rainey, so I'm a retired Air Force / Space Force veteran. Served 26 years, retired as a lieutenant colonel. Been here in Colorado Springs like a little over 17, going on 18 years.
Have you? How you get to stay in one place that long?
Well, we can talk about that later.
I might have
pulled
stayed
off a
in
couple of
about
things.
it.
I've been able to
Air
pull off
Force,
a couple of
Space
things.
Force.
That's the new Air Force.
Yeah.
But became a business owner. I actually had a business before. I owned a semi-professional football team here in the Colorado Springs
cool.
area.
You on that team?
Yes.
Oh.
So I actually now have the Mayweather Boxing and Fitness Center here. Look, in the Pikes Peak region, we are known for fitness.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yes.
why not bring a fitness center of this magnitude here to the Colorado Springs region? And now I'm a defense contractor and executive working for a company doing autonomous cyberspace
Are
operations.
you guys in the same contractor?
No.
No.
No,
No.
different ones.
Okay,
Yeah.
right on.
Yeah, I worked for Raytheon when I got out.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, for 6 years.
My husband's with Maxar.
Oh, wow.
He does
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
things.
Good companies there.
Yeah, good
Great
companies.
company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
we've done this thing. Give us a little bit of background about you. We have a hard time pulling out of people.
I know.
They go straight. They go straight to the resume.
To the resume.
Yeah.
So here's something very unique about me, right? So Born and raised in the Bayou area of southern Louisiana. So, if you've ever seen the TV show Swamp People,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
my house about 15 minutes away from that area. I actually went to school with a lot of the folks that you see on that TV show.
Oh,
Believe it or not.
really?
Dead serious.
What a trip.
So pretty interesting growing up there. Grew up in a little place called Pinkleville, Louisiana. Very unique name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's in Assumption Parish, and went to school there. Grew up on a little small sugarcane plantation, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah, Westville Sugarcane Plantation.
Okay.
Born and raised, grew up there. 17 years old. Decided to join the Air Force,
Couldn't
and
get out of there
off.
quick enough.
I'm off to do great things, right?
Yes.
And where do they send this little kid from Louisiana? My first duty station, Great Falls, Montana.
Oh, goodness.
January 2nd, 1994, I arrived in a blizzard.
Oh.
That was my introduction into the Air Force.
Oh,
And it's been a
goodness.
roller coaster ride ever since. Yeah, quite amazing.
So you were an enlisted guy first.
I was enlisted first.
Tell about that journey.
Yeah, actually it was pretty non-eventful. I was a personnelist, a personnel specialist,
Uh-huh.
admin guy.
Yeah.
So left.
Was it a 702 back then?
Ooh, look at the AFC. Okay. Yeah. Wow. So you got
Keesler, Mississippi.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, I went from basic to Keesler to
Yeah.
Montana. Yes. Yeah. See, you know, you're up there.
Bring
But
back
you know,
in.
so what do you, once again, where you take a kid like myself from Louisiana, you send them up to Montana after tech school, you send them off to Korea. So I go to South Korea for a year. And where you send a kid after South Korea? South Dakota.
Oh,
Yes.
man, they had your
Montana,
number. My man.
Korea. I don't know who I made mad in the personnel field, but that's where they sent me. And while I was there in South Dakota, worked for some phenomenal folks there in the leadership realms. A lot of them that are retired now. Some are big advocates still here in Colorado Springs area. One of them is a Major General Prisposlawski. He was a wing commander there, and he recommended that I become a commissioned officer along with a bunch of other generals and colonels. So I
So
ended
you
up
were killing it as an enlisted guy. Yeah.
So went off and did ROTC,
Yeah.
and I selected Colorado State. That's how I got into
Oh,
Colorado.
good job.
Go Rams,
Yes.
fighting Rams, go Rams. Hopefully we have a good season this year, football-wise. But yeah, that's how I got to Colorado, and then once I got commissioned, became a space and missiles officer. And where do you send a guy once again? I became an officer, became a missileer first. They sent me back to Montana.
Oh,
Been to
That's
Montana
right.
twice.
That's where they have their
Once
silos.
enlisted,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Once enlisted when I was an officer, and then of course came back to Colorado and been here ever since.
Ever since.
Awesome.
What a journey, man.
Yeah, it's quite the adventure. But been so involved in the community here. I mean, absolutely. Much like Rebecca, you know, you move here, you become involved in so many boards and commissions, and you kind of build this community and this family-centric grouping, and you get involved in your community.
Is it fair that I call you a previous swamp guy?
Oh my God.
You know, I love my fishing. I still get out there and fish a lot. I haven't been doing
He's a
great
mean
lately,
fisherman.
but I've
Nice.
done. Yeah, I love being out there in the water.
What is your
and-
family? Do you have family still back in Louisiana?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what do they think about you, your progression? Were you, I mean, yeah,
You know, look, it's I get a lot of admiration from back
Do you?
home, a lot of respect. I think people look at the journey and understand
Good.
that it takes hard work.
Yes.
Rebecca mentioned something earlier about education and bringing up youth, and I think early on in my career, one of the things I realized is education is the key to opening up a lot of different doors and a lot of different opportunities. So I took advantage of those opportunities, and the journey has been phenomenal. It's been interesting. I met a tremendous amount of people from all walks of life, but right now here in Colorado Springs, it's just phenomenal.
You even carry this sense of being very, very well organized and well placed in the space that you're in.
I'm
You
in a
know,
good place right now.
Well,
Yeah.
you can just see
He's
it.
feeling it,
right?
yeah.
I'm in a good place right
Yeah.
now. I'm very
Yeah.
happy, and look, anytime you're around Rebecca, you got no other choice but to be
Yeah,
happy. You know, she brings it out of you, but
Aw.
no, this is all.
Yeah, I
good
hang
stuff.
with her a lot.
That's what I put in your drink.
Take a look here.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
But it's been good. It's
Yeah,
been great. So.
yeah. Rebecca didn't give us.
No,
these,
I told her.
I
she's
know,
so
right?
Very much,
She
yeah,
is.
yeah. I'm from Michigan. 8 years ago, I've been here. Yeah. There's much more to this story than that. So share with our people. You.
Back in 1970. That's good.
No, 2 people came together, and here I am.
Yeah. Were you an only child?
No, I have 2 sisters, and I am the youngest. I'm the baby.
Oh, me too,
So
girl.
yay, go babies!
Yes.
Exactly right.
We're the the behind that every
Yes.
family needs.
Thank you. Family friendly.
I'm tracking with you.
we give the excitement to the family.
We do.
Right?
There's never a dull moment.
Yeah.
He was like the second oldest in his
15.
family.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
oh,
15.
you're 15.
15 kids.
gracious.
Okay.
Poor mama.
Oldest boy, and the second oldest in my family.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he's got to deal with
We
me.
all have a
so-
story.
Everyone has a story like that.
Yeah, and that's the reason God decided to put me with her. Someone needs to mellow this. Right?
Oh my God.
Those babies have no boundaries.
I don't know. I have no
Yeah, so give us a little history.
I don't know that I'm all that interesting, but
Well, let
you know,
Dylan figure that
I
out.
grew
Your story.
I grew up in pretty much the woods, so I'm from a little town called Clio, Michigan, and where we lived was way in the woods. So we were pretty much a low income family. Growing up, my dad, where you don't have the money to do, you've got the ambition and you have the hard work to do it. So if you don't have one, you've got the other.
Yeah.
So, and we were brought up, my dad was in the Army during the Korean War. And he's a drill sergeant, and I was the only, after 2 other girls, I was the son he never had. So I learned, my sisters learned to cook and all that. So my mother's German. She's from Germany. She's a, legal immigrant. She came over here, and he brought her over, and she was a very proud American. But she taught my sisters how to do all that stuff, and I was out helping Dad in the barn and drywalling and all that stuff.
Look at
So-
you. Wow.
So I can do all that, but don't ask me to cook.
So you still
Oh
don't
no.
I try.
Okay, guys, she can't cook, but she got so much else going on that is awesome.
She's got German blue eyes, very vibrant.
Right.
Yeah, half German, half Scottish.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we grew up, learning hard work, And then right out from high school, I went right into the military, and the Navy had my calling, and so I went in there as a meteorologist and technical oceanographer. And so atmospheric
After high
sciences. In the military, yeah.
Okay,
So I
yeah,
went
yeah.
to Chinook Air Force Base.
And why did you do Navy of all branches?
I went in the Navy because they guaranteed me a job. Whereas some of the other ones, they like the Air Force, not that anything against Air Force or the Marines, but the Navy, I like to know what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. I'm very regimented.
Oh,
You're
okay.
controlling.
Right.
She's
I want-
regimented.
Yes, she is.
His eyes bulged.
Yeah.
I'm not controlling.
Roland said yes.
I'm not controlling. I'm just very
Oh,
bossily helpful.
Oh, did you make up that term?
Yes, I did. My word. But
Bossily
Oh,
helpful.
that's
But
fabulous.
and they had the job that I wanted. I was really interested in atmospheric sciences and that and getting into meteorology and that kind of something. And they had that for me. The Air Force had it too, but they couldn't guarantee.
Yeah, they
that.
don't.
And if I'm signing a contract, I'm a person of my word. I will do what I say, and I expect you to do the same.
Yeah.
So so I went in the Navy, and it was a great career. 21 years. And I got to mentor and lead and grow such over 180 sailors were at my last East Station there, and I've been all over the world. I've lived I went to Guam, and then I went to Monterey, California.
Oh, yeah.
She had the tough assignments.
Yeah.
You see the difference there? Guam and Monterey
Monterey's
versus
gorgeous.
Montana
Well,
and South
Are
Dakota.
you a linguistics person?
I did work in Intel for a while,
Yeah.
so, and then, but then I had to go to Hawaii,
Oh.
And then Sicily, Italy, and,
Wow.
there were some really hard
You
duties in
just
there.
bragging.
I know.
Now you're
just
bragging.
rubbing it in. Right now. Rubbing it
I'm
in.
just saying, it's just,
Did you go from enlisted to commission as well?
No, I stayed enlisted my
You
whole
stayed
career,
enlisted
yeah.
whole career? Okay.
I was in the working class, just saying.
Oh.
The rest of my military will know what I'm saying. I have to do that. It's what we do.
Yes.
But that's okay, Chief. We can call you Chief. Okay?
Yeah. There you go. So and then after I got out of the military, I worked for a guy that you might be familiar with. He hired me as a junior executive. His name was Ross Perot.
Oh yeah, we know
So I
him a
worked for
little
him
bit.
for a while, and then after great boss.
Yeah,
Great
was
boss.
he?
Oh yeah.
Is he still alive?
was. No, he's passed.
Okay.
Yeah, when I retired, I invited him to my retirement, but he was too ill
sick.
and too
Yeah.
sick at the time. But and then I went from there to Hewlett Packard. I ran. I was a lead IT at Volkswagen America. Volkswagen headquarters America, and then I got into the DoD sector. I worked with the Department of Homeland Security. I worked with the Border Patrol, Border Protection, ICE, FBI, CIA, and we had this really unique center in Michigan called the Operations Integration Center. And our main focus was, human trafficking, drug trafficking, where we were at, terrorist cell organizations, that kind of stuff. So it was always interesting every day, and some things were, it was fun on certain other things that we did, but a lot of it was a great experience because some of the things most people don't get to see,
Right.
I got to see on the inside, and that kind of gave me a unique, kind of outlook of what's right and what's not working, what's
Right.
wrong, and so so I kind of took that, and I've been trying to use my knowledge and experience and everything, kind of within the community to help promote businesses in different realms like
It's so hard
schools.
for you, isn't it? I can tell. Hey, it is so hard for you.
Some people
Now
call
we
it
know a
nosy,
little
but
bit. Yeah.
I just like being involved. I love people. I love our community, and when I'm embedded in somewhere, it's my home, and I want it to make the best I possibly can.
So tell us, Rebecca, on a personal level.
Oh,
People get really excited, Lisa, once they start giving their resume.
Yes,
right?
I know.
They can just jam with that.
Yeah.
When you try to get some story about their
A
yeah.
a little blonde hair, blue-eyed girl.
So tell us what created your drive to give back to humanity and support local and all of that. Like what, from a child, explain.
My mom and dad. Yeah.
They were community minded as well.
Very community minded. My mom was always involved. She's either taking care of someone or, they were involved in, back then, didn't have internet, TV, we had 3 channels,
Yeah.
So, being in clubs and being in organizations and being involved in your community was the way of life, you would go to each other's homes and help each other out, and everyone brought a dish.
Yes.
Everyone, they all contributed and they all were, took care of each other. If my dad found out someone, kind of like the barn raising kind of thing,
Yes.
if he knew someone needed help, he was there,
Yeah.
So, he was a hard man,
Yeah.
but he was a good man.
Well, he's an ex-drill sergeant.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's all you had to say.
How, I'm just curious real quick, how was it growing up with that?
How was I guess I'm grateful for it because I'm not soft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the sense
She's
where
not soft.
I'm not soft, but I'm not really an overly feelings. I'm very factual, data driven,
Logical.
and I get that from him, and I think it's in my blood too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It comes with that, and I think that's why I was probably best suited to help him out in the barn because I don't cry. So I was like, where my other sister's a little more tender. I'm not
Yes.
really all that tender, but I like things done the right way.
gosh.
I know. Well,
Let us move the Roland.
but but I do care. I care and I understand, and that's
But
that's
don't
what
ask
I
me to
have.
cry with you.
You asked.
Well, wait, I have
I'll
one
give-
more before we go to Roland.
I'll hand you a Kleenex.
How was your relationship with your mom?
Outstanding. My mom was my best friend. Yeah, she was my best friend. She, you know, I was, the baby, so I kind of got a little spoiled by mom a little bit, you know, it's that kind of stuff. But I talked to her every single day. There wasn't a day that went by, even when I was overseas. Even you know, I do have a funny story. When I went to Guam, you didn't have phones, so and then you had to buy these cards, and I didn't have enough money for that kind of stuff. You know, I was E2, you know, and so I went 2 months and didn't call home. Ooh, she got a hold of the Red Cross, who then got a hold of my CO of my command, who then got a hold of me. And believe me, I called her then it was very expensive, so I called her every week.
That's awesome.
You know, but once I, got to where, I had money and phones were normal, then, every day. And she's still in my heart every day.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story. Yeah, thank you. You know, we pick on you a little bit.
I can take it.
Have to.
Well,
Yeah, we know that you won't cry.
Yeah.
So, Roland.
Yes.
Floyd Mayweather. Right. Yeah.
Right.
What an incredible icon in the world
Oh, my
of
God,
boxing, and what he's done. A little hood guy that became a billionaire and doing wonderful things. So how did you get connected with Mayweather Boxing?
That I get that question a lot, and it's a great question because the story is just not your norm story. As I mentioned before, I had a business before, and I'm doing quite well in other sectors, and I decided, hey, I wanted to own another business. But because of my fitness background, and I did some amateur boxing just for staying in shape purposes. And I'm like, well, let me look for some businesses out there. But I wanted to start looking at franchises, and ironically, this one just came across my desk, and I decided to send them an email. But I honestly thought, like, these guys are not going to respond to me. This is a big, major global figure, little old Roland Rainey here in Colorado Springs. There's no way these guys are going to respond to me. But they did, actually, in 2 days.
Awesome.
In 2 days, I spoke with the chief development officer. Then I ended up having a conversation with the CEO of Mayweather Holdings, and they invited me out to L.A.
Ooh.
And I took a trip out there to visit a couple of Mayweather Boxing Fitness Centers just to see if it's something I really wanted to do. The very first one was in Warner Brothers Studios.
Oh, my.
Oh, wow.
It was a nice breakfast. They brought me in, and I took a look at one, thought it was pretty cool. Had lunch. They drove me out to Porter Ranch, and I ended up seeing another one out there. Now, that one is a little interesting because of the owner. And major shout outs to Tennille and her husband. I visited her. She gave me a lot of great insight to the business structure. And she kept telling me, she was like, my husband. And I'm like, no, I'm from Colorado. I'm not from here in California. She was like, trust me, my husband. It's a little interesting.
Yeah.
So I get home. She sends me some documents to help me along the way. And one of the documents had her husband's name. And I'm like, I still not recognizing that name.
Yeah.
Google. It's Google time.
Yes.
So Googled the guy's name, and I kid you not, immediately when his face popped up, yes,
You knew
I know
him.
who your husband is. So her husband is a actor, and he's also the opening act for Kevin Hart.
Oh.
So
Okay.
in the region that they had their studio, there's a bunch of actors and actresses in that region that they cater to. So, and then after that, came back, took about another 6 to 8 months just to think it through, like, hey, is this something I really want to do? And I decided, let's move forward. Let's not be afraid. Oftentimes people get right there, they get nervous, and they pull back, especially in small business, because there's a lot of risk when getting into a business, especially buying a franchise.
Absolutely.
So I decided, no, let's pull a trigger and let's ride this roller coaster for a while.
Yeah.
And I did, and so far so good. It's been great. I have a great staff, studio manager. I have a sales team lead and exec. I got my head instructor, my group instructors. We're located right there in Briargate area, where the Pinery North is. We're right next door. So it's been great, but also I wanted to bring something new, innovative when it comes to fitness and getting people healthy. Something that builds community. That's the biggest thing I can say about this franchise. It builds community. It builds confidence. No matter what fitness journey you're on, if you're the fit person or if you're the person that's finally decided I'm going to get off the couch and I want to get myself healthy, this is the perfect, venue to do that.
How long? Oh, go ahead.
Have you opened your doors yet?
Actually, right now we're targeting what we call VIP week, the last week of August.
Yeah.
And that will be everyone who's signing up right now, we will cater to them that week. And then we'll kind of go into the Labor Day weekend, and then the week after we'll do grand opening.
How did you know that they weren't?
He's in my backyard, so I've been watching it, and I'm like, when is it going to open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I got involved in that. But, oftentimes when you talk about small business, no matter what type of business it is, here in Colorado Springs, we often use that term economic vitality. And small business is truly the backbone. Of course, being a heavy defense industries community,
Right.
that's always going to be there for us
Yes.
because of the 5 military installations. But that small business, it is the foundation that drive us every day.
And that's not just Springs or Colorado.
Right.
Anywhere.
Anywhere in the
Anywhere in the
country.
US, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Small business vitality. So, what's been challenging for you, my friend, in the last year as you think about your journey and what you're trying to accomplish?
That's a hard one. That's a good question.
No, this one is easy for Rebecca. This one is easy for her because she has a great heart and she's doing some great things.
He's
for us.
helping you out. Why
I
is he helping you
know.
out?
I know.
Okay.
You know, because we've known each other for a while.
Oh,
So
okay.
I had to bring the money.
How do you guys know each other
yeah,
for
how
so
do you-
long?
How did we first meet?
I helped you.
Oh, duh.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no, we had before that. We had before that. So, of course, last year I ran for city council.
Oh, did you?
Yes,
I didn't
I
know
ran
that.
for city council at large. So
Okay.
I met you the very first time at a local event,
Yes.
and from there we got to know each other, military backgrounds
Yeah.
and so forth. And then
I didn't know you had ran for the city.
Yeah,
council.
I
Did
didn't
you
know.
make it?
No, but I came. I did very well.
You
I'll
did.
just say that.
Right on.
I
Did you
did
surprise
extreme-
yourself in how well you did?
I was really surprised because I was new. I was
Kind
new
of
to the
unknown.
political arena.
Yeah.
Very unknown. I
I
mean,
should
did a
have
lot of
known it
stuff in
was
the
somewhere
community.
in that space.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Okay.
people like Rebecca and others in the community, they really galvanized and brought a lot of energy to my campaign and helped me out. And that's how I got to know Rebecca more and more and more.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
just kind of, that gave me insight to the true Rebecca, the part that you're trying to get out.
Yes, exactly. She's
So-
keeping bottled up.
Yeah. Why do we have such a hard time with that, Ro?
Yeah, tell us.
Why is it so hard to get that out of Rebecca?
You know, Rebecca is very humble. Very humble. I know, right? For someone who's like, what is it called? Bossly.
Possibly helpful.
Bossily helpful.
That's my own group.
But no, she's bringing so much to the area and how she wants to just dedicate her talents and her knowledge and just being committed just to the citizens of the community.
Yeah.
That to me is something that's genuine.
Yeah.
And when I see that in people, I tend to gravitate towards
Yeah.
that.
We certainly need that.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Right? So we're not trying to skirt what the things that you're doing because it's just the alignment.
Yeah.
Right? We're here, the alignment's different. And if we open a can of worms. If we start
Yeah.
talking about politics, then we'll be getting all these calls. Can I come on your show?
Yeah, exactly.
Every candidate.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 But that's not why I'm here. Not
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm-
yeah.
But
We
that's
have
how
a
I met
potential
Rebecca.
reach every week of nearly 50,000 people, right? So of
Yeah.
course people want a platform, and we're not hating on them, but that's just not who we are. It
Right.
doesn't align
Well,
with what we're trying to
You have a
do.
vision, and then you
Yeah.
know small businesses in Colorado
Exactly.
and Colorado
Yes.
Springs,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm appreciative of that because there's a lot of them out there struggling right now, especially they're still
yeah.
haven't come back from the COVID thing.
Yes.
Yep.
So and they're still trying. They're you know and we do a lot for employees and stuff like that. I really would like to see Colorado do more for small businesses. Really,
Yeah.
and they help them get started, but then it stops.
Yeah, you
We
yeah,
need
yeah.
more of a mentorship. We need more programs out there to help them to get through that first and second
Yeah.
year, which the first and second year
Well,
we
that's
know
why
is the
we're
hardest.
here.
That is why we're
Yeah,
here.
we'll throw this in for free.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you don't even have to write us a check. Right? But that's why you need encouragement coaches like myself,
Yeah.
resilient coaches like Lisa. We need to connect with people and make an investment in our business.
Yes.
And that's where small businesses often miss it because they won't make an investment in themselves.
Right.
Right? Nobody knows everything.
No.
Nobody.
True.
And everyone needs someone else to hold up their hands on the one of my favorite sayings is small business is incredibly hard, and it needs to be. Because it's going to eliminate those that can't, and it's going to celebrate those that can.
That's right.
And those are the best outcomes for both.
Yeah.
It really is.
Exactly.
Because if you
Choice.
can't,
Yeah.
you don't need to be in this space.
Yeah.
Stop idealizing a space that's incredibly hard.
Right.
Right? And be in the place that you were designed to be in.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Great point.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, helping people that way. Give Lisa a call.
So, oh my gosh. So, Roland, quick question for you. What's been a big challenge for you on opening up, just absorbing the whole franchise that you're about to launch? Like, I'm sure you've come across a lot.
Yes, I can tell you the biggest challenge of mine is the business I had before, very hands-on, very directive on how I want that business to operate. When you purchase a franchise, there's a playbook ready for you to rock and roll.
Yeah.
And following it step by step and having the corporate leadership guide you step by step. But when you see something where you go, I don't think I want to do it that way, I want to do it that way, ooh, can I? And then in the franchise mode, now you got to negotiate that, right? To make sure you're not going too far off vector on how they want the franchise established. So for a person like me, for someone to be like, we don't like that idea, or we don't want you to go that direction, it's like, that's tough. That is really tough. But it's a good, it definitely allowed me to pull a throttle back a little bit and kind of allow the process to guide me along the way instead of forcing anything. I think that's probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned. It's a challenge, though.
Yes.
Initially, it was a challenge because I was always poking back at corporate, like, "Hey, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Oh, how come it's taking this long?" And now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, let the process guide you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the process has created success for that franchise, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah, I
about
mean,
120 franchises across the
120,
U.S., a
yeah.
couple overseas, so
Yeah.
evidently they know what they're doing.
Kinda know what they're doing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
They got a word for that, Roland. It's called growth.
There you go.
Am I right? Yeah, and that's
Yes.
that's the growth
That's
that
the goal.
happens
Yes.
in us
Yes.
Exactly.
when we're going through those things.
Yes.
So, man, Mayweather, man, what a great name to have in front of your franchise.
Well, I
right?
tell you, this Olympic City kickoff,
Yep.
Summerfest we just had.
Yeah.
I was really trying to connect with him, but he was over in Monaco at the time. But just his Olympic story, I just would love for people to understand that story. It's so unique because he goes in and he was supposed to win that match. And if you go and look at the video, the referee accidentally holds his
hand up.
hand up,
Mhm.
but he ended up losing the match. So they had to make that correction, and since that moment, he went undefeated.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I would say that was a spark
So cool.
for him to be like, I'm never losing again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Because he didn't lose then.
he did.
No.
50-0. 50-0.
Yeah.
Never lost after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great story. We need to frame that. We'll go to Mayweather if you guys let us and do a visit when you open
Yeah,
up.
please.
Do a video
Yeah.
just to help get the word out about what you're doing. We're kind of known, especially her. That's why I hold on to
I
her.
want to see you guys
her
spar in the
dress.
ring. Right? I want to see you guys spar in
I'll
the
get
ring.
in the
no,
ring.
Come there, we'll put some gloves on.
Yeah, I'm her wingman.
I'm his wing woman.
He'll wipe your brow.
Yeah, well, it's fascinating talking to you. We have wanted, because I've known you for quite some time. Remember VetNet when I was president of VetNet
Yeah.
the day you came in.
On Circle Drive when we were
Yeah.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's the president of VetNet now.
Yeah.
And the day you came in, Frank, Can I tell people about my campaign?
Yeah, no. I did.
She did.
Yeah.
She got in her boss mode, man. What can I say? Right?
And then there were a lot of others who were trying to come through there.
Yeah.
There were. Yeah.
Well, I think it's
yeah.
I'm so pro veteran, you know, and that's you
Oh,
know, and I want to see our veteran, you know,
Yeah.
you know, we have the leadership skills. We have, you know, we've grown up since, you know, we were kids.
Yeah.
You know, we've got it. Let's grow it. You know,
grow it,
and
yeah.
I think more veteran business owners. There's nothing but positive to say about that. You know.
Yes.
Well, both of you are examples of that.
Yes, exactly.
So,
You guys
right?
had
You really are.
awesome
Yeah.
careers.
Yeah.
Military.
Yeah. Yeah. We're rooting for you, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. We are rooting for you. You know, Lisa, it's time. We still got some time. We had some good conversation this morning, didn't we?
Yes.
With some amazing people. I love our new venue. We think
I
Yes.
like this.
This
This
is
is
nice.
really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Well,
fancy, Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have moved up
Yeah.
from our first studio.
Yeah. We're the Vodcast Jeffersons.
Yes.
Good
Moving
one.
on up.
That is a good one.
Oh my goodness.
I love that. We just aged ourselves, though. Just saying, we just aged ourselves.
Q's over there. What's that?
Yeah. He's like, my grandpa watched that.
I heard about that
When I was a toddler.
Oh my. Yeah, Roland, what is one thing that you would like to tell our audience about hope and encouragement today that would move them forward, that would help them understand the space that Lisa and I try to get out to the world?
Ooh, that's a great one. Hope, encouragement.
Yes.
Here's my take on that. One of the things that we have done, and this is way before COVID. I know sometimes we really poke at COVID, but I would, predate this before COVID. Sometimes we get into our own little way of life, and we get stuck in our ways, and we don't engage with others.
Mm-hmm.
We don't learn from others, and in my opinion, when you do that, you really deprive yourself of a great human experience. You really do. Now, you can have your political views, and you
Right.
can have, what your value sets are.
Absolutely.
But be okay with having a conversation with others, just to open dialogue, because those things drive hope. It drives people to be encouraged that there's somebody else doing good. Might not have similar views as you,
You're right.
Right.
but they're still doing good things out
Exactly.
there, right? But have an open mind. You have an open mind, you'll be amazed on what the world will offer. I think I'm in the place where I'm at right now because of that. Once again, I have my own personal political views and
Me
so
too.
forth, my value set, but the fact that I do like engaging with folks and listening to other people challenging themselves and pursuing other dreams, I want to learn about that. I want to understand that. I might not agree with it,
Yeah.
but at least I've now educated myself a little bit more. And when you do that, you do bring more hope into the world. You do show people that, hey, you can be encouraged, that there's something out there for you. But if you live your life in a silo, you get what you
Yeah.
are pursuing.
What you
And
choose.
that is that
Yes.
silo.
Yeah.
So I would always challenge people to take a step out, just one step out. I'll give you a quick story. I had a friend who I gave him an opportunity, and I literally laid it to him on a silver platter. I'm telling you, take this opportunity. It's going to open many doors for you. You're going to get to know more people and so forth. But he was living in his silo and continues to live in his silo, and then complains that the world is treating him unfair.
Yes.
Okay, well, is that really the world, or is that you?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I would love to see people have a more outward look and engage with folks. And when you talk about business, what better way to do that? Get involved with the chamber, get involved with small business groups. Just explore, because you will find that hope, encouragement, opportunities, those things all come together. So that would be my advice. Just have an open mind and explore.
Yeah.
I love
Just
that.
explore.
The moment you started talking, I wrote down the word silos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew that's where you were heading. And we do that, so our military community is really guilty of that. That we stay in our own silos and don't look outside of that and see the opportunities elsewhere and et cetera. I do a lot of transition classes for military people that are transitioning from the military out into the community and et cetera. In the way we tell, it's hard because we've been inundated with a way of living,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
Yeah, for so long to look outside or even be hopeful that we can fit outside of those silos,
Yeah.
right?
You know, there's that phrase, be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
If you can do that. Yeah,
We
trust
do
me.
that all the time.
All the time. Yeah, we got in the place where we even dig it.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
So used to it.
Comfortable with uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
How
your
about you,
turn.
Rebecca? You want to encourage the world?
What would I, you know, because I was a previous business owner, and that, you know, I think the biggest, number one thing is find a realistic need and fill it. Right? Sometimes people have these ideas like, you know, oh, I want to make, you know, hand towels, and, you know, is there a need for that? So, you know, when you go into, you know, when you go into business, it may not always be exactly what you want because it may not be what everybody else wants. So find a need and fill it, and learn from others' mistakes. So find a mentor, right? And be willing to be a mentor.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like you said, growing our community, not you know, cutting it off. And as we grow it, we'll see, we get what you give out, you know, you'll get back.
Yes.
So, and I firmly believe that. So, you know, find a need to fill it, you know, find a good mentor, learn from others' mistakes, you know, don't be willing to, you know, heck or high water, you know, cut your nose off to spite your face, you know, let's learn from each other, because we are, again, we're all in this crazy world together, and we just want to make it a better place for everybody, and we don't want to exclude, and so, you know, like you work with a lot of the military and stuff like that, you know, when they come out, they may have an idea, they just don't know how to, you know, they're teaching the military how to run a business, they teach you how to be a warrior, right? So, you know, so teach them how to be a civilian again, and, you know, and mentor them like you guys are doing. You guys are doing a phenomenal job, and I'm so grateful for what you do. You really, you know, within the community, you guys have become pillars.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you as well.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so, you know, Mayweather Boxing is coming onto the scene. Mayweather Boxing and Fitness Center is coming on the scene. There's lots of things. These things, what's the differentiator for what you guys are bringing to market versus what we're seeing all over the place?
The biggest thing is taking what made Floyd Money Mayweather the global sensation that he is. And let's be honest, let's put boxing aside for a second, to be a business genius. When you get Warren Buffett to be your mentor, I think you're doing something okay on the business front. But what he's done is taken all of that training, all of those regiments, and he placed it into what I like to call my fitness bottle. And now he's offering that to anyone along their fitness journey. So if you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to stay toned, if you're looking just to get started, and even if you're an advanced person in boxing and want to work on your hand techniques, you can come and do that also. So offering that journey with a group fitness session. So oftentimes people go into a gym, they go in, get their workout in, club their hands, and they're walking out. When you're in a group fitness session, you're all in it together. So now you're building a sense of community, and I think that's the major differentiator, is in the fitness element, we're building a sense of community for everyone to support each other along the way. And,
You know, I can hear it now, Roland. I've been in this community a long time, 41 years I've lived here now. And Southeast sector, you see where I'm going.
I
right?
know where you're going.
Yeah, right. And there are going to be the complaints about where you're located and whom you're not reaching, and et cetera, et cetera. What are you going to say to those folk? Because it's a drumbeat
Yes.
all the time,
Yes.
right? Not that I agree with it. It's just this is what you're going to face. What do you say?
I say give me 8 to 10 months because I'm already looking at building another location here in Colorado Springs, and I will target probably the southwestern side of
Right.
town, but still wanting to provide that opportunity. To your very point, being a fitness boutique, something that's specialized, not everybody can afford that.
Absolutely.
Not everybody
Yeah.
can actually, and I do know that being a business owner. So how do I find a balance in that? So right now, my goal is to just get the first one off the ground.
Yeah.
But I have spoken with corporate, and we've already started thinking through ideas of how can we actually manifest this in different areas of the city, but make it affordable for other locations, so they can also enjoy the Mayweather experience.
Yeah, and I'm going to say to the community right now, you're looking at Roland Rainey in this office right now, and you say that you want to support someone that looks like him. Do it. Stop saying it and actually do it, right? Come out and put your support behind this new business and the things that are happening there, and create space for other people to rise up by helping Roland get this thing off the ground. How did they reach you, my friend?
That was great.
Yeah,
That was great.
how did they reach you?
The other folks, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
reach me by calling the studio, 719-895-1313, or just go directly to our website, mayweather.fit/Colorado-Springs / that's the website. You can find us on social media, that's on Facebook or Instagram. Anyone in the studio will be able to contact me directly, or you got my studio manager or my executive who's there working, and you can reach out to them and they'll take care of you.
Right on. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. How do they reach you?
Well, for me, you can just go to I have my website, revamped,
Yeah.
pretty looking website. Because I didn't do it. That's all. I did the original one. It was a train wreck. Oh my gosh. But Rebecca, RebeccaKeltie.com, and you can contact me through my website. You can learn more about me, and I
Yes.
have more personal things on there. Some. But yeah, RebeccaKeltie.com, and you can send me any questions or send me any messages you want. Just keep it clean.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, that was amazing. That was show number 1.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So.
Look at that. We
Yeah.
know you were your first one.
Yes.
You
That's right.
are our first episode in our new
This was a big
dig.
deal.
I'm honored.
Yes.
Well, yeah, indeed. Roland and Rebecca, thank you both for coming, taking the time, share with our community what you're up to and incredible spaces that you're creating for people. Frank and Lisa with the Be Encouraged show here on Monday morning. You're awesome.
You're awesomer.
This is true.
Yes, it is.
We'll be back with show number 2 shortly. Thanks for being with us today.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why should
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why should
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why should
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
So we're very excited to announce that the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa is now reaching over 30,000 listeners each week and growing.
And growing.
Why
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crescio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Be Encouraged show with Frank.
And Lisa.
We are so incredibly glad to have you today as we're trying to infuse hope and encouragement into our community by speaking with fantastic and extraordinary humans. To do that in generic conversations, right, Lisa?
Yes.
Yeah. So we want to also thank you to our platinum sponsor Crescio for this show. Our friend Joshua Aguirre is passionate about uplifting the Southeast sector, and when you partner with his company, you'll learn how to automate your sales funnel using tools like ChatGPT. Visit them at Crescio.com to learn more.
Awesome. So now we get to have our panel host introduced here, Mr. Lanz Cook.
Lanz.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's actually born and raised here in Colorado Springs.
Wait a
Attended.
minute.
Oh,
Yeah, can I autograph, right?
Sure, you can have it. It's not worth anything yet, but one day.
and he loves Thai food like we do.
Yes.
Yes. What was that Thai dessert that we had? That fancy
Sticky rice.
Sticky rice.
Sticky rice and mango. It's delicious.
Yes, it was
Yep,
very
one of my
good. Frank,
favorites.
you missed out on that, but you would have
I
loved
did.
it. So anyway, Mr. Lance attended CU Boulder with undergrad degrees in biochemistry and business. He's worked in wireless sales, recruiting, advertising, high-tech sales, and sales operation. Attended University of New Mexico for his graduate degree MBA. Worked for Hewlett-Packard
Yep, HP.
for 17 years and 12 plus years in sales operation doing price analytics, and recently started with Schooley Mitchell of this January.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
correct.
So welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
And to his right, Miss Cindy Rayfield. Cindy left corporate America in 2001 to turn hobbies into jobs before Etsy came along. She's owned various businesses and now helps with franchising. A Colorado native, she...
Another one, right?
Oh my gosh, you have your pen?
We
Really?
have two on
Two
the panel.
That's right.
locals.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And they did not know each other until this year, right? Or
Right.
no, when did you guys meet on LinkedIn?
Well, a few years we had connected a few years back,
Yeah.
but then just most recently connected at the end of last year.
Right on.
So,
Okay, cool. Where was I?
A Colorado native.
Yes, a Colorado native. She loves phrases like recurring revenue and work on the business, not in it.
Not only do I like that phrase, I like it when it's more than a phrase and I'm having some
Yes.
recurring revenue.
Exactly.
Right?
That's right.
right.
Yes.
Lisa and I are trying to get that recurring going, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone
I want
loves
her.
Everyone loves that,
Yep.
right? Who doesn't
Yeah.
want that?
Yeah. And when Lisa ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. I'm just saying, right? So, thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. As you can probably tell,
Yes.
it's light. So if you don't like light, you can leave now. All right? We do not get overly serious here.
It's better than the alternative. Right?
Yes.
It's better than the alternative. But we want to really start out. Lisa, you want to start us off today?
Yes. Well, we'd like to hear a little bit about you, Mr. Local Colorado
Celebrity.
native, celebrity, Lanz Cook.
Celebrity in the works. We'll see.
So tell us a little bit about being raised here in the Springs.
Sure. Yeah, it's a wonderful place to grow up. I think I, like many kids who grew up here, didn't appreciate it because it's just where you grew up. So
Right.
you didn't know any different, right?
Right.
So I think that's one of the things that I really started to appreciate probably once I went to college and lived somewhere else, right?
Yes.
For a while when I went to Boulder, I was like, it was just another beautiful place. But then I really started to appreciate how wonderful it was to be in the Springs, to have the opportunity to enjoy the outdoors, nature, and also just a wonderful environment altogether in terms of family focused, very business friendly. So I think it's a great place to live and grow up.
Indeed, it is. Yeah, thank you for letting us come.
Hey, we haven't stopped anybody yet.
Yes.
There was a few I wish you had some.
Yeah.
I threw that in for free.
All right.
Yeah, so-
They eventually leave though.
Yes, indeed. Oh my! So another native of
Yes.
Colorado Springs here. Lance didn't give us very much.
No.
But, we'll take that little 60,000 foot level view of him not sharing. And go to you, Cindy. Tell us about you. Give us a little bit of your story.
I did grow up here in Colorado Springs. I grew up east of Colorado Springs in a little community called Ellicott, which
Oh,
is just
yes.
like
we know Ellicott. Yeah.
So I grew up there, and then I went to DU. I decided I wanted to move to the big city of Denver, and I went to DU, and I actually never left. I met my husband up there, but all my family is still down here in Colorado Springs, so I come down all the time and visit.
Oh, you live in Denver still?
I do, yes.
You
I
came
know.
to visit us.
Well,
Thank
I'm
you for
always
trying.
here,
You came,
though, right?
you came home.
Yeah. You came
So
home
are
to
you?
visit
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. So I enjoy it very much. I mean, it's a great little city, and the business community here is fabulous. I do
Yes.
most of my work in Colorado Springs. I live in Denver, big population, but most of my clients come out of the Colorado Springs market, and that's because I focus on it. I do a lot of work here. I work at the Air Force Academy. Again, when you have family, you got connections, and Colorado Springs is all about connections.
Well, tell me, let me interrupt you there
Yes.
because I really, really, really want to know your story, okay?
All right.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
want your resume. I want your story. So tell me the Cindy, how can I call you Cindy Crawford?
Who doesn't want to be her?
All right. Okay, the other gorgeous one.
Yes.
Cindy Rayfield.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
See, I'm blushing.
Yes.
Miss Rayfield, give us a little bit of history of your coming up in Colorado Springs. I think this is important that our listeners hear from people that had this experience as a child and growing up. What was the family like and those type things coming up here?
Well, my family was really close, which is really interesting. I have 3 children now, and none of them have children of their own. They're grown. And so, I kind of want to have this big family around me, and I don't have it. But when I was growing up here, my dad had cousins, and my grandmother and grandfather were still alive, and they all had 8 siblings each.
Wow.
And they were all ingrained in the Colorado Springs community. So we do family reunions. We would, it was very much a part of my life. And then when I had the opportunity to go to college, and I just knew I wanted to go to the University of Denver. I don't know
just
why.
knew
It
it?
just called to me. I knew it. I knew it.
Interesting.
And so I went there, and I was the first one in I shouldn't say first. It's hard to know. But I decided I was going to leave my small town, Colorado Springs area, and at least in my family, I was the first one to go to college. So, and then to go to Denver, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going
Yeah.
to Denver. My goodness, why would you do that?
All the way in the city, the big city.
Exactly, big city. And so and this kind of goes to where I am today. A lot of what I have done in my past life is I kind of take a step outside of my comfort zone and hope that others will follow, because I really do believe that, because I own businesses. This is what I do, and it's not for everybody.
No.
And it's scary.
Yeah.
And it can actually make you really, really uncomfortable. And that's what it did when I left. But then you get past that, and you're like, okay, you just kind of put your hat on and go, okay, I'm going to work. I've made this decision, and I'm going to make it the right decision. And that's kind of how I've lived my life. So I haven't had a real job in a long time. I've been my own boss for, almost
23 years.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
And
Yeah.
you have 3 daughters?
No, I have 2 boys and a daughter.
Okay.
I do have 1 daughter. She's
Yeah.
my youngest.
Uh-huh.
My oldest is 35, and he lives up in the Denver area. And then my middle son decided he was going to spread his wings, and he moved to Austin, Texas.
Oh, nice.
And so he's
You
a
have a
sales
baby
guy.
near there, don't you?
Yeah, my daughter's in
It's
Dallas.
it's a beautiful.
Is
it's a
he
beautiful
single?
area. He's single.
How
yeah.
old is he?
He's 28.
Is he a Christian?
Introduce him.
Yes, he is.
Oh, is he good looking?
I think he's good
She's-
looking, but he's my son.
She's just like me. She's got good taste. So I'm just saying.
And then my daughter's my baby, and
Yes.
she still lives at home with us, and she's going to school up in Denver,
Oh,
and
right on.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
good.
no grandchildren.
Not
so-
yet. Don't rush it.
I know.
You're fine.
I have 13.
Oh my goodness.
My kids got the memo. The only reason I had you were to have them.
Yeah. And I started holding those conversations because my oldest, the one in Dallas, she's 26. And then I have a
Yeah.
24-year-old
You
here.
just start having the conversations, right?
Oh, they know. And we have 2 14-year-olds. So I'm always talking about future grandbabies. I'm like, I'm not rushing you. However,
I'm rushing you. I'm not rushing you, but however, I'm rushing you.
but that's just the conversation that there will be procreation happening, just to let you know. And they're like, oh my gosh, here she goes again. But it's, that's why I had kids.
That's so funny.
So that was a lot about me.
Yeah, I love a lot
Yes.
about you. Thank you for throwing that out. Bring it in.
Welcome.
Yeah, you're a trailblazer.
Yeah. Unlike Lance.
You triggered, some thoughts that as well. So it's interesting, like you talk about like the 8 siblings.
Yes.
Like my mom is actually the youngest of 8, and my dad is the oldest of 8 siblings.
Oh,
But then I'm an only child, so
Yeah.
so that's one of those things
Yeah.
that you figure out. Like, but part of it was, it was a difficult birth, with me, and so my parents just decided, this is the best direction to go
Yeah.
for this time, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
but nonetheless, it's crazy. So I have a huge extended family.
All the cousins.
So the interesting thing, my mom is actually Peruvian. My dad was born in Missouri. So then on my mom's side, I have a lot of international family.
How
So
did they
that's always
meet?
been interesting.
Your
So
dad and mom.
so actually, I am an HP baby. My parents met at Garden of the Gods at the end of
my
at
gosh.
HP at the end of Garden of the Gods, right?
That's
worked
so
there.
funny.
Yeah. So and then I worked for HP, not at the same time as my dad.
Right.
So nothing with that happened. He actually worked for Agilent Technologies ultimately
I remember
as that split,
Agilent.
and then
Yeah.
became Keysight. So still in that same building there at the end of Garden of the Gods. But
Yeah.
so kind of interesting story.
So
and
he
then
picked up a
eventually,
girlfriend, which turned into your mom.
yeah.
Big love story.
Yeah.
How did her family embrace him?
So it was interesting because my mom actually came here to the U.S. when she was 13, and she came with one of her older sisters. So originally came to Oregon first for a year, and then down to the Springs. And then she actually grew up here as well. So she went to like Divine Redeemer and St. Mary's, right, and grew up in this community, right? So I think it was one of those things where like her family kind of got split apart in essence, right? Because they were in different countries. So I have my grandfather on my mom's side was Austrian. So they actually have uncles, and their families all started sort of in Austria. They went to Austria when they got older. But anyway, yeah, so it's kind of fun to have an international family and different
Yes.
connections and stuff. So still have family in Peru, family in Austria.
I don't see
and all of that.
anything from overseas on you at all. Like, I'm just saying, right? Like, do you
Blonde
see-
hair, blue eyes. I'm
Yeah.
not Austrian at all.
Yeah.
No? Yeah. Are you still single? Are you still single?
I am still single.
Okay, ladies, he's single.
We thought we'd
Hey,
throw that
I
in
don't
for
know,
free.
This turned into somehow a dating show. I don't know. I thought this was going to be a business show.
We've
But
been accused of that.
We have
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
She's going to start tracking our commission.
Everybody's wanting grandbabies, apparently. My parents would be happy with
Yes.
grandkids too, so
Exactly.
I guess we'll go with it.
That is so funny. So 17 years at HP. Oh my. That's a long time, my
It's
friend.
quite a while.
How did you come to a mind space after working in corporate space for so long that you wanted to do something on your own?
It's interesting. For several years, towards the end of the 17 years at HP, I had been wanting to find some other direction, someplace else. I sort of thought maybe it would just be another job, right? I figured I'd look around, and I actually applied for a ton of jobs, got very close on many, and it was like, but none of these are happening, right? And you're kind of like, what's going on? Like, I'm not sure. What's the direction? Like, what direction is my life going to go in, right? Or should it go in, right? Maybe these aren't the right things, right? So I kind of have to accept when God closes the door, right? And says, like, this isn't the right thing for me, right? This isn't the direction I want you to go in. And then kind of look to see what happens. Ultimately, I got laid off from HP. So it was like, well, you know what? This is going to be the conclusion. It was actually better for me in the end that happened because, then I can get severance and then other benefits rather than me leaving and trying to just go on my own.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, one of the nice things, though, is with leaving HP, they did offer sort of a coaching and counseling, right, with a professional coach.
That's
and in
awesome.
talking with them, I was thinking, well, if I want to look at doing sort of something else, maybe I should consider franchising or some other type of business. There wasn't something I was super passionate about starting from scratch. So I thought, okay, well, let me look at maybe sort of franchising. So then I had connected on my LinkedIn network with Cindy at the end of last year, and she was great, franchise consultant. So
That's what you are.
yeah.
That's what I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah. It's one of
So
my
it's
businesses.
thanks to her that you're with Schooley Mitchell now?
right. So yeah, so
Wow.
she helps connect me with Schooley
That's
Mitchell
cool.
ultimately. So it was great working with her
Love
to
it.
actually guide through the process
Yeah.
and really understand, like, here's your options, here's some alternatives, here are the things to think about. But then the nice thing is she really gives you the space as well to have some time to figure out on your own, like, what makes the most sense, right? And she's very upfront, which is great. I appreciate at the beginning where she's like, you know what, maybe none of these are going to be the right option for
Yeah.
you, right? And that's okay, right? Like, something will come along that we find or that we don't find, and you'll find your right direction. But ultimately, going through that process, you know, I had worked in pricing analytics, which for a lot of people are like, pricing analytics, that sounds really
Yeah.
boring. Like, what is that even? Like,
Yeah.
you know. But anyway, but it was one of those things where I was like, my career has sort of shifted even at HP already, and then it's got into this pricing space and cost space, and I was like, okay, well, maybe cost reduction consulting, which is what I do now with Schooley Mitchell,
Yes.
like, that makes good sense, right? That's a natural
Yes.
progression for me
Right.
in my career,
That's right.
right? And it's something though that I now can work for myself though, having my own
Yes.
franchise. Right, I can choose to be involved in all these different companies, community aspects with my business. So I really appreciate that aspect of having my own franchise. So
So
that's
what
really
does
been
it
the great
look
thing.
like? I'm curious, the relationship now. Do you guys still work together, or is she your point? Obviously, you have corporate with your company with Schooley,
Correct.
but how does this work?
Yeah, so I feel like I've been talking a lot, but ultimately she connected me with a networking group up in Denver.
Yeah.
So I'll let you talk maybe a little bit about
Yeah, so
that and how
and
we
a lot of
work
times
together.
when I've worked with clients, I work with clients all over the country, so it's not just Colorado Springs or
Yeah.
Denver.
Sure.
So I have clients everywhere. But when there's an opportunity and I meet with someone and they buy a business, why not come and network with my group? Even if it doesn't turn out to be the right networking group
Right.
for you, come and introduce yourself, meet some people, let people know. So it's up in Denver, it's in Inverness, and he drives every week from Colorado Springs to Inverness. It was a good group for him to join, very well connected, called Master Networks. There's a bunch of them.
I know
if anybody's-
Master.
Yeah,
they're
And we met with the guy that runs Master.
it's a good group.
Yeah.
He
But
might
we
be
come
Gary,
up-
right? Is it Gary?
Well, he was an
What's
old
his name?
dude, right?
I don't know, there's a whole bunch of them.
There's a variety,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a bunch of
okay,
chapters.
Okay.
Yep.
But they it was a fantastic group for me. I've actually met other people who have wanted to buy franchises through the networking community. And Lance came in and he actually had given me quotes because I also own hair salons. So he had given me an opportunity to see if he could reduce my expenses in my
That's
hair
perfect.
salon.
Yeah, why
There's
not?
a connection. There's a synergy that comes from that.
Yes, that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now I'm intrigued. Right? I'm going, what is this woman doing? Right? Yeah. So hair salons, consultations on franchising. Tell us the whole of what Sydney's up to.
Well, I started out doing, first of all, I used to work for corporate, like
Yeah.
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I worked for the old cable company. I got laid off, and I started doing odd side gigs. You know, we call them side hustles now.
Yeah.
So I was doing side gigs, doing different things. I knew enough about how to create websites and do marketing. And so I was doing it on my own, and I met a woman who did this thing called franchise consulting. And I thought it was kind of odd. She said, come and do my website, come and write some press releases for me and learn about the industry, and you can be my marketing person. So I learned enough to be dangerous.
Yes.
And
I
next
see
thing
that.
I know, about 2 months or 2 years later, after getting all of this information under my belt, like what franchising is, and it's not just food, and there's a bunch of franchises out there, I was on my way to training to be a franchise consultant, working with my colleague Stacy, who doesn't live, she lives in Texas now too. But she started me out on this path of franchising, and she's very well known in the franchise industry. And so here I am 15 years later. Well, in the meantime, I decided, well, I want to be a franchisee and maybe have some other businesses. So an opportunity came up for me and my husband about 8 years ago to invest in a little kids hair cutting franchise called Cookie Cutters Haircuts for Kids. Yes.
You know of them?
Yes. That's in my neighborhood too.
Yeah,
Well, they're all
Briargate.
over.
There's
but yes,
200
there's
over
a whole
about
bunch.
200 nationwide, but there's one over here in Briargate.
Yes.
I own 2 in Denver. I own 1 in Lakewood and 1 in Highlands Ranch.
Nice.
And
they're adorable.
listen, everybody needs a haircut. Well, kids
Yes.
need haircuts, and so
And
it's
they're
a safe
always so
space.
scared and fidgety.
Right.
I love your model.
So it's a safe space for them to
Yes.
come and get a haircut. And right now we're super busy because it's back to school time.
Yeah.
So we did that. We bought the Lakewood one. It was already existing, and then we opened up the Highlands Ranch location from scratch. So now I know how to do that too. Open a retail location, and then a couple of years. So we have employees, and in my consulting business, I'm the only employee.
Yeah.
And then I decided I wanted to try my hand at maybe vending machines where I have machines as my employees.
Oh, nice.
So I have a little vending machine route, just small. It's 6 machines, but my daughter works for me, helping me stock machines, and I kind of learned that industry as well. I am all about learning about different industries because in the franchise consulting world, I represent about 700 different franchise concepts, including Schooley Mitchell.
Yeah.
Some of them are food. Everybody thinks food, but it's not just food.
Right.
There's so many, and they serve other businesses, or they serve other communities that you don't think of. If you don't need it, you don't think there's a need for it. Like if you don't have kids, you don't think about kids needing haircuts.
No,
you
you
don't.
just go to you go to your own shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have kids, you're like, where am I going to take these kids to get the haircut?
Yeah.
I can't take them to my salon. They'll scare everybody. So
Yeah.
we have a place for that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's this Etsy piece here?
Oh, the way I got my start in business, initially, my first business was creating crafty items and then selling them at craft shows. This was when my kids were young, and so I could take them with me in the little carrier.
Perfect.
And, that kind of thing. But that was before Etsy was a thing. Etsy was, now Etsy is like if you want something handcrafted, you go to Etsy and you buy it. And you've got these handcrafted artisans that create things.
Yes.
Well, they didn't have that when I was doing it. I had to go to craft fairs. But,
Right.
Etsy now is a whole-blown business that people do.
What does your husband do?
He's an executive at a corporate. He works in corporate still.
Does he?
Yeah,
He
so
loves it.
Well, I don't know about loves it. I mean, he goes
He
to
does
job
it.
every day. He
Does it for the money.
it's the steady, stable income
The
because
check doesn't bounce.
yeah, and it's the benefits. So for many people, if they're concerned about benefits, I mean that is the thing about owning your own business. You have to be okay knowing that you're going to have to pay for some things yourself and get it off the ground.
Yep.
For people who have spouses who have a full-time job, maybe that gives them the freedom to start something on their own while the spouse has the full-time job. So I always say, jokingly and lovingly, my husband funds my crazy side.
He funds your fun.
Yes. Yeah. And then we have nice little businesses, and that's our retirement. Honestly, that is our bridge to retirement.
That's right.
He can leave when he leaves his job, when he retires, he'll join me in our endeavors, and we'll create these businesses together. This is our bridge to retirement because that
How long have you
continues
been married
to
to
make
this
money.
guy?
Almost 40 years.
Woo!
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah. it'll be
Yeah.
40
How
years.
awesome are you?
Yes.
Oh,
Amazing.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's wonderful. Listen,
Yeah.
he's very supportive, and you have to have that
You do.
because
Yeah.
sometimes things that make you uncomfortable make everybody around you uncomfortable,
Yes.
and you all have to talk each other
Through it.
down
Yeah.
from the ledge
From the
sometimes.
cliffs.
Yeah. And if you don't have that partner, sometimes it can be even more stressful.
Yeah.
So that's why when I'm working with clients, if they're married, I want them both coming to me. I don't want just one telling me, oh, she'll be fine, or oh, he'll be fine. You say that now,
Yeah.
you don't know. We have to have that
I don't want to be the
conversation.
bridge to your divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lance said, I mean, we had that conversation up front, like
Yeah.
maybe this will be a fit, maybe it won't. You have to be able to get through those early stages because you're not making money when you first
Right.
start business. You're not.
We're both business owners.
You know.
Yes.
We get it.
Yeah, you have to build up to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And patience and
Yeah.
the ability to coach yourself and the ability to make decisions on your own and not have to check in with a boss.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
it takes skill and practice to
It
do that.
does.
Right. And learning to work through no. I think that's a big thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because no is also just going to be very common in the early stages of your business, right? So I had a sales background. I had done that for a number of years. I
Yeah.
actually even started in sales before going into sales operations at HP, right? So for me, when you're interacting with all these businesses, it can make perfect sense. It can be the absolute best thing for them, and they're still going to say no. And you have to be like, okay, you have to just accept that, move on. Not that you're giving up per se, right?
Add 'em to the
Right?
list,
Like you
right?
just say like, hey, we'll get back in touch.
Yeah.
Businesses change, ownership changes, people change in the
Yeah.
organization, their needs
right.
change, right?
Yep.
So it's just like, okay, let's establish a good relationship, but no is going to happen a lot of the
Right.
time.
Oh, yeah.
In every business.
So,
Yeah.
In every
It happens
business.
more than yeses do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that equals a lot of follow-up.
Yeah.
So what is your magic in follow-up?
Well, I think the key in terms of it is not getting to the point where they're irritated with you, right? In terms of follow up, you want to keep it sort of fresh on their mind as you can, right? So try and send them things that remind them, hey, like we're still out there. We'd love to work with you. We'd love to help you. Does this make sense for you? When does this make sense
Yeah.
for you, right? So I think that's the other thing is sometimes they'll say, hey, we're interested, but right now is not a good time.
Yeah.
So then you just say, well, when is a good time? Okay, great. Well, actually mark that down in your calendar because I have a lot of clients, and that's from my years in sales before,
Yes.
that it's like, well, right this moment is not great, but let's touch base then, right?
Yeah.
And when you do actually follow up, they appreciate and respect the fact that you are following up with them and that you've remembered and that you are conscientious of when they said, right? And so I think that naturally leads to a good relationship. So ultimately you want to build a relationship, right? I think that's the key thing. It's not just a thank you for the business, thank you for the money, see you later,
Yeah.
right? You want to have a long-term relationship. And that's a nice thing too with even now what I'm doing with Schooley Mitchell, we have a long-term engagement. So it's a 3 to 5 year engagement that we have in terms of saving the money. So it's not just thanks for the money, see you later,
Yeah.
right? So I
Yeah.
think that's, I think those are the things in terms of sort of following up to your question.
Yeah, but tell people, because I think it's very, very important. We're very invested in helping businesses get their value proposition out to the community, right?
Sure.
So people are coming to you at Schooley Mitchell. What can they expect the value of that relationship to be?
Yeah, so the value of the relationship ultimately is we're going to help businesses to reduce cost expenses and be able to invest that in their business. So whether that's other projects, whether that's people, maybe you need to give some people raises, maybe you need to invest in some projects that are going to help bolster the business altogether, right? So we're kind of able to go in and we just work on contingency with the majority of our clients, which is a nice thing. So we just split the cost savings. So there's also no risk in dealing with us. So that's one of the great things, right? So, but the value that we bring is ultimately we allow them to accomplish their mission and their goals, right? So whether you're a nonprofit, whether you're government and you're helping the broader community, education space, or businesses of any size, really we can help them in that cost reduction. And it's honestly an area that they don't have the time or resources to devote to. So that's the great thing is we're taking that burden off of them that says, hey, you want to be cost conscious, you want to do the right things for your business, but you don't have the time or resources to do that. Well, we can take that burden for you, right? Split the cost savings with you, so there's no risk, right? In terms of time, effort, energy on your part, right? And then you get all the benefit of doing what your goal is with your business, right?
Yes.
And not having to focus on this. So we help take off that burden. for
That's
them.
incredible, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah. What's the challenges that you face given such a incredible value proposition that you give businesses? Is it hard getting in? Is everybody just saying, Lance, come on down?
Well, you're
You-
eight months in, right?
Right, yeah,
8
so
months.
started in January,
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
I think the big challenge is sometimes it comes down to pride, unfortunately for all of us, right? It's like, I know what I'm
I can see
doing,
that.
I've been doing it for years, I know what's going on with my business, I think I've got it figured out, I've got it dialed in, I'm making money now, I've been in my business long enough that I'm making money now, so clearly I must be doing the right things, right? But I think the thing for all of us in business is there's always more to learn.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
always more ways to grow.
That's right.
There's always more ways to expand, to learn new things, right? And the challenge I think for us is we have a business model that a lot of people aren't familiar with, right? So even when we're talking about how do we interact, it seems simple, it's like a no-brainer. We should of course work with you. but it's a new way of working. And so I think that sort of also makes people feel a little bit uncomfortable. They're like, I'm not sure. What's the catch, right? What's the gotcha in all of this, right?
Yes.
So I think that's where it then comes down to building that relationship. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to build that relationship where they're comfortable and say, okay, well, we understand that you really do want to help us, right? How you can do that, right? And how you can make that work. So.
And really for you, I mean, one of the things that I found interesting about Schooley Mitchell is they can save people and expenses that they didn't think they even had a choice in, like your trash removal. You're paying trash removal.
Right.
Did you know that you can figure out how to save money in that? And I think a lot of people would say, oh no, I haven't taken it out to bid. I never thought about it. Or saving your telecommunications needs. Who would have thought? Like, I didn't know I could negotiate that. And they do that on behalf. So again, it's like learning. People, purchasing managers and people in that industry get an opportunity because they're so busy.
Right.
When they get somebody else who can come in and like, hey, we'll just negotiate that for you. We'll figure it out. We'll find something that's gonna. And if we don't, what's the?
Right. There's no risk.
There's no risk.
Yep.
You don't pay anything.
Well,
for it.
and you're helping them get on top of the business instead of being in it so
Yeah.
much, right?
Yeah.
Because you're the expert
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a great thing. And it's, I like to say I'm the expert,
Yes.
which is great. But ultimately, it's the whole business. We have a whole series of business analysts, and they focus on each of the categories that we work in. So that's a nice thing. Like in that aspect of working in a franchise business is like coming into it. There's 25 years of history of us saving companies money. We've saved over $650 million for organizations, worked with over 30,000 organizations of all types, right? And so it's like, you know what? I don't have to be the expert on your bill,
Yeah.
but I can help you guys to really accomplish your goals for your business, right?
You know, when finances are in play, that's where that pride,
Yes.
shame,
Big time.
and other
Right.
things come into. right?
Yeah.
Because
Totally.
and that's always difficult to bridge because people say, oh, what will he think of? I made
they
a
do.
mess of this joint, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna find me out.
Yeah.
Right. Well, any of us that have worked for corporate America know that that's happening
Yeah.
every day, everywhere,
It's true.
at every size
Every day.
organization, right?
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
So Lanz Cook at Schooley Mitchell, non-judgmental approach to helping you find money that you didn't know you could find, and without any risk or obligation to your own finances.
Yeah.
Such a win-win. Like, why not
I
have
know.
coffee with you?
I know. Why not at least meet,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Right.
Let's at least talk about it. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my. Yeah.
And if I could say, the one thing about Lance is he is very good at connecting with people. He's very good about going out and meeting people in the community, whether or not there's a business relationship.
Yep.
That's
We've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
we
he's
have.
taking
He's
us
very
to
good.
lunch.
There you go,
Yeah.
right?
Not many
Yeah.
people do that. So
That's
thank you,
right.
Lance.
It will be
course.
forever, well, at least until next time.
Yeah.
In your
Well, hey, it must have gone well if there might be a next time, right? Otherwise, she'd be saying, like, forget it.
Right. Challenge. What challenges are you facing, young lady?
Well, that's interesting because as you were talking about challenges with Lance, the biggest challenge, and Lance could probably attest to this, I have to have conversations. Because I close deals. That's how I get paid. The franchise pays me a fee when I have a good client that ultimately buys. Well, those clients that ultimately buy, it's real. Nobody sees it on the outside because if I do 10 good deals a year, it's like, hey, that's great. I close. Well, I had to meet with a lot more than 10 people to get to
Yes.
that.
Oh, yes.
I had to meet with about 400
Right.
and narrow it down and narrow it down and narrow it down until you find that gem, that person who says, yes, I'm going to do this. And it takes a lot of time to go through not a lot. I mean, it's about 3 to 4 months of doing extensive research to determine if this is going to be the right fit for me. The franchise wants to sell locations quickly, and if they have an open location, they want people lined up to potentially be that buyer for that territory.
Right.
So they were Schooley Mitchell really likes Colorado Springs. There's room for other people, of course, but they were like, we like Lance, and he might be a really good fit. So it takes time to build that pipeline.
Yes.
And so when we were talking about adding to the list and growing your list, a lot of what happens in what I do, and I don't know if any of you follow Russell Brunson on
Following some.
one of the things that he said that really stuck with me several years ago was, if you don't have a list, you don't have a business. If your list isn't growing, your business isn't growing. So I really took that to heart. And I went out and said, okay, if I'm going to have this business or any business, my goal is to grow my list. Even if these people aren't going to buy
Say that
now,
again.
Good for you.
I'm going to grow this list.
Yes.
This is important.
It is
so
important.
good.
So anybody, even if they're a no, they go on my list.
Yes.
And they get emails from me on a regular basis. That happens in my salons. That happens in my consulting practice.
Yes.
And you and I are now connected on, well, we were connected on LinkedIn, but you and I both have a very strong following on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I believe that is passionately, like, that's one of the aspects that helps to grow my list, is having that really good LinkedIn presence.
Yes.
So my challenge is the people, meeting with people, and I come up with objections all the time. It's like, okay, we started this path, my wife says no, I want to do it, but we can't do it now. And we don't have the money, the shame, the embarrassment, maybe
Right.
we don't have as much as we should have, and now here I am trying to buy a business, and can I even do it?
Yes.
So there's a lot of things that go through people's heads, they talk themselves out of it.
Oh yeah, it's psychologically is a trip, and the reason I don't just know this as something I've read. This is something I've experienced.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
We tell ourselves all kinds of stories. Our minds
the
tell us all
narratives
kinds
that
of
come in
things.
our minds when we're
Yeah.
trying to move forward and do things that we were designed to do.
Right.
And
Take on
that-
challenges. People don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's hard for people.
It is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is hard. But you do such. I can just tell you're incredible.
Yes.
Right?
And listen, I love it. I'm passionate about it.
We see that.
We hear it.
Yeah.
I feel like, taking that step, it's really important to step out of that comfort zone and
Yeah.
do something. And a lot of people now really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So finding somebody like Lance who's like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
We're
We're rooting
lucky.
for Lance.
Yeah, we are.
In this
appreciate it.
community, we really are. Because this is what you're doing is so important to the vibrancy of business in this community.
Yeah.
It is not just this community, whatever community you go and do it in, and people need to sit down and at least hear the story and the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're committed to helping you do that.
We
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy to help them.
I know you are.
And I think, and for me, I feel like it's sad when you read about, oh, this business is shutting down, this business is closing.
It's hard.
Like you just found your favorite restaurant, right? And then like a couple years later, it's like,
It's
oh,
gone.
well, on to the next thing,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
business is hard. It's
It is.
difficult, right? And I think part of it is just let's not make it more difficult than it has to be
Yeah.
when it comes to costs.
Well, you're
right?
an easy
So-
button for them,
Yeah.
truly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They just push it.
Well, making money on one side is great, but where you really find value is when you save money
Yes.
on this side.
Right.
My franchisor taught me that when I looked for my second location. I was like, I'm just going to spend money. And he pulled me in. He says, no. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. You make money by saving money up front. That's always how you make
There we
more
go.
money. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to Sydney.
Yeah.
Or Lance, because he preaches
Yeah,
that.
so the nice thing is too, like with Schooley Mitchell, we work on contingency. If you already have the services, that's great. But
Yeah.
I also get to work with businesses on the outset, right? So we can do hourly consulting, get you set up with the right services and scenario from the get-go, and then you don't have to look at the end and wonder, did I get the right service? Did I work with the right vendor? Am I paying what I should be, right? Because you got it figured out from the beginning. So that's exactly like what you were talking about. Figure it out from the beginning, and that's great. We're happy to help businesses that way too.
Yeah. Yes, and 30,000 people have enjoyed the services of Schooley Mitchell already and gotten the opportunity to save money and to create space on the end without investing a dime. Can I look at my face? Without investing a dime.
Yeah.
Right? So, come
Why
on
not?
now.
Right. The problem, like I said, it sounds too good to be true, right? It sounds like one of those things right, where you're like, how can this be, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't cost the business anything to get involved. It will require a little bit of time and effort. We're not going to say that there's
Absolutely.
no investment. It's
Right,
going to take a little bit of time and effort to say, hey, like we at least need to give us the bills to look at, right? We at least need something. We're not just writing checks back to the business. That would be great. Like maybe one day, right? I think I'd really be a celebrity then. But ultimately, yes. we do. It does take a minimal amount of investment, just in time, and then
Yeah.
we can go from there.
So Cindy, tell us who are good collaborating partners for you here in the Springs. Do you have any? Because what comes to mind for me, at least, is Mount Carmel Veterans
Yep,
Service
I
Center.
am very strong. I have very strong ties there.
Good, okay.
The Small Business Development Center. Just met with Brandon Elric.
Yes, we love
He sponsors our show.
Yep.
SBDC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good collaborators for me.
Yep.
But I do speak at the transition panel of the Air Force Academy. So I have a very strong following with veterans who want to go into business.
Good.
I would say that probably makes up most of my client base.
It makes
And-
sense,
yeah.
right? Because they go into the military, they're told what to do, how to do it. It's all cookie cutter, whatever
Yeah.
they're going to do. And then with the franchise too, that there's the overhead, there's a nice structure.
Right.
So it is a nice blend.
Yes. It is. It's very good for veterans who want to go into business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've met many, and I've had some of those people actually sell their business after they've grown it, and realize a very nice gain from that. So you know, I'm always excited to see that.
Yes.
I
do
can
that.
imagine.
Yeah.
You know.
Get double retirement, right?
Yeah,
Military,
exactly.
Right.
military, and then your own
Military, and
business.
then your
Exactly.
business.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a win-win.
It's the exit strategy.
That's right.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I work with transitioning military people as well. We need to have conversations sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That may be beneficial to both of us,
Yeah.
right? And how we could work together there. So do you.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Well, it is Colorado Springs. There's a lot of strong military
Well,
ties.
we military are us.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Right,
That's
yeah.
right.
I'm ex-military myself, Air Force,
Yep.
Air Force spouse.
Yeah.
Lisa was, and you know, we have such strong ties. Well, he knows. He comes to our vet neck group.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah,
group.
we
Yep.
have 40 to 70 people every week that come together to talk about business concerns and things that help move us forward with
Right.
connections. Yeah.
And it's all about supporting the military
It
business
is.
community.
Man, I'm so glad to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
I already met you.
I was curious who you were going to bring on. That's a
You
compliment.
rocked it, man. Yeah.
So nice that he asked me to be part of this.
Yes.
So it was very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's great.
We're so glad that he
Yeah.
brought you.
Yes.
You are a beacon.
Oh, thank you.
You really are.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Rayfield, good job.
Thanks for your support.
Yes. 4 years of support. Or 40 years.
40.
40.
Right.
Sorry.
You're thinking about you.
Yeah, I was thinking
Not
about
her.
you.
You. Yeah. She's a newlywed here.
Aha.
Yeah. Yeah, but she has an incredible husband.
I do.
Really
And he
do.
is very supportive.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. Love
Well,
you.
you rock, Mr. Sinat.
We were on live radio last week, and that guy just said my name so perfectly.
Oh, the Senate
Yes.
guy. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We brought so much out in this meeting, Lisa. I don't know what else to say to them. I do know what else
Yes.
to say to you. Yeah, you guys, what a great show, right? Yeah, you didn't know you were gonna rock this well, did you?
We'll find out. the votes aren't in yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
We can't see all the hearts.
All right.
Actually, that's true.
We all get to vote.
We're your
Good.
hosts.
We're in.
That's right. Yeah, there's some knucklehead out there that doesn't think this is a great show. Like, don't join us. Because it was a great show.
Yeah.
You guys brought energy. You brought innovative opportunities and things to people to think about, right? You brought value.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that for us. Now, what do we do here, though, Lisa? What's the ultimate thing that we really want to bring out in this show?
So our big mission is to infuse hope and encouragement throughout the world. So we want to give you all an opportunity to do just that. I'm going to start with you since you're our panel host.
Mm-hmm.
If you can look at that camera and encourage them, and then also how they can reach you.
Sure, absolutely. So I'll start with how you can reach me. So Lanz.Cook, so it's Lanz as in zebra, .cook, COOK, at Schooley Mitchell, that's SCHOOLEYMITCHELL.com. So you can reach me by email that way. Or my phone number is 719-466 8191. And I do work with businesses actually around the country. So as long as you're not with Schooley Mitchell or working with one of our other wonderful franchises, I can help you. So I'd be happy to do that. And in terms of encouragement, I think the thing that I was thinking most about was rest. So I think so much of our business is hustle, bustle, it's constantly moving. So we sometimes forget to take that time to rest and refresh. For me personally, I think it's important to have at least 24 hours to do that. So 24 hours where you say, I'm not going to do anything that's related to my work or my business in every week, right? There's so many hours that we can devote to it. So I kind of appreciate the phrase 24 by 6. I think we're used to 24 by 7, right?
Yes.
That 24 by 7 is not sustainable for any of us, right? So I think my encouragement is really to take that day of rest, to recharge, to regroup, spend time with family, spend time with friends, spend time on hobbies, spend time doing the things that you love to do, right? And remember why you're working hard the other 6 days a week.
Indeed. I read a book recently. It's called To Hell with the Hustle.
Yeah.
And it was like so apropos for
Yes.
me in the moment, because I have a tendency just to continue to work on stuff, and everything's geared that way. And it helped me understand that, you know what, you don't have to hustle all the time.
Yeah.
So what a great word, my friend. Thank you for doing that. Your turn.
All right. Okay, let's see if I can top that. I don't know. That was really good.
Always competitive here, right?
That's right. So I'll start the way Lance did. My name is Cindy Rayfield, and I work with people who want a franchise, people who want to go beyond just the everyday job, who want to expand out. So you can reach me at Cindy@franchisematchmakers with an S at the end. .com. My number is 720-261-4391, and you can call, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I try to provide a lot of really good content as well about business ownership in general. Really what I think the hope and encouragement that I want to leave for people is there's so many different opportunities out there, whether it's a new job or a new business or a new life or that side hustle that you want to have. There's so many opportunities out there. I think sometimes people overlook the fact that there's so many opportunities. I feel like that's my job to bring the idea that opportunity exists. Even if somebody doesn't work with me and doesn't buy a business from me, the fact that I can show them that there's different things out there that they hadn't thought of, that I'm going to blow their mind with the opportunities and all the different things that are out there that they didn't even know about. So to me, it's like keeping an open mind for opportunities, because that's how we grow. And I think really expanding our mind in that area is the benefit that I can bring. So I really want people to, like, hey, if you've considered business ownership, if it's something that has crossed your mind, but you don't know if it's even a fit for you, at least have a phone call with me. I can kind of give you the pros and cons of why people do it or why people decide not to do it. But nonetheless, it's an opportunity.
There we go.
Awesome.
She's going to blow their mind.
Yes.
I'm going to blow your mind.
Everything that she said.
It's like the
what I
rabbit
said.
hat. You're
Yeah.
doing all
But
these
you
options.
just see what I bring out. You just wait and see.
Yep.
Wait and see,
Yeah,
y'all.
that's confidence. I'm glad you
Yes, I love it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to blow your mind.
Yes, get ready.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. You're so awesome.
Well, thank you.
You really are. Appreciate your being here today. You know, before we wrap up, we want to make sure that we spotlight the sponsors of our show. Lisa.
Yes. So Westco Insurance, Miss Karen Butcher. She loves helping people and get the best service ever. Contact her through our website at beencouraged.net. And Kawata Consulting. Unlock your potential. Transform your presence. They provide coaching and digital marketing solutions for a lasting impact. So contact them at kawataconsulting.com. They're also on our website.
Spell Kuata.
Quarata
Yes.
consulting.com. And of course, Planet Duct, our friend, Mr. Brandon Kirk and his team offer astronomical air duct cleaning.
Stronger than
vacuum of space.
Gotta say that. Who says that?
That's his
Right?
30 seconds. He's
Yeah.
fabulous. Yeah. With the most powerful vacuum trucks in Colorado, stronger than the vacuum of space.
Oh, there
Brandon
it is.
Kerr. Yes.
Brandon Kerr. We have over 21 sponsors of our show now. If we're ramping up, people are seeing the value of aligning with the message of hope and encouragement, not just here, but we have an international presence.
Yes.
We've been in almost 10 countries now. And every week we have a potential audience of nearly 50,000 people that engage this show and are seeing the value of us rebelling against current culture and the
Yes.
meanness and the vitriol and all the things that are going on. So be a part of our show, be a part of our culture. Go to BeEncouraged.net. More and more people are seeing the benefits of sponsorship. We're now up to 24 sponsors within only 13 months of being part of this. Visit us at BeEncouraged.net to become a sponsor. Get your business name out there to our growing audience. Our platinum sponsor has seen an aggressive 900% growth in their business in just 7 months. Like and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn and join us on our journey to extend open encouragement and help people realize their potential through networking, collaboration, and community involvement. And remember, if you want to join us internationally, go to our website and select International via Instagram to join us live from anywhere in the world.
Yes.
As always, what do you think of our new digs?
I love it.
You love it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And-
Co Harbor.
Yeah, our event sponsor, Co Harbor, here
Yes.
at Co Harbor co-working space, also Core co-working in Denver,
In Denver.
as well.
Okay.
We work
As-
out of both.
We work
Okay.
out
Yes.
of both, yes. So those are available to you if you need a place to do business, to meet people. Visit them at Co Harbor, and you won't regret that you did. What a great space! isn't
Yes,
it?
it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa every Monday, uplifting our community and the world with the message of hope and encouragement. We'll be back next Monday with some more people, probably not as fantastic as
Yeah.
these folk, right?
The bar is
They're
up
setting
here
the
now.
bar, right? For our first time in our new space as
Yes.
well. But you will enjoy. Lisa, as always, it's my honor to do work with you.
It's my honor to work with you too, Frank.
Yeah, the Be Encouraged show with Frank and Lisa. We will see you next week.
Thank you.